Okay. How about you, Brett? Are you there? Hello?
I have to go into another room to do that. I'm in the sound booth.
I hear you.
But the computer's in the other room, that's why.
Oh.
It takes me so long. Sorry.
Hey, Donna, did you see the message I sent?
No.
On Facebook? Check it.
I'll check it.
You guys still do Facebook?
Got it. Oh, yeah. That's my main hangout is Facebook. I've always kind of forget about Twitter.
Okay, can you boost your microphone at all, Brett?
Me? How's that?
Yeah.
I know I have one of those weird voices. I hate that. I was talking to Marty, and I said, I don't know if this is going to be so well.
Well,
I'm just so nervous.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
What the fuck is up with your voice?
What do you mean?
It's all high. It's all high and lispy. Are you a fucking eunuch? Try that again.
Dave! What do you mean? What am I, fucking eunuch? I tell you what. You've been had.
You sons of biscuits!
It just... eunuch!
You're listening to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. The Panorama's #1 source for news, reviews, and thoughts about the new wave rock legends, the Cars. Oh, and a little bit of Seal Wool, Sunshine, and Rainbows.
Hey, welcome to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast, episode 48. I'm Dave. Hey, give me a guitar and an audience under 5 years old, and I am a rock god. Oh, McDonald, baby. Just ask my grandchildren. And joining me is the queen of Huckleberry Taffy, which, by the way, I had some of that. Pretty good stuff.
Good.
She's an enabler, folks. Donna, Sweet Purple June. How you doing, Donna?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, and I'm not going to stop there.
Oh.
Speaking of Huckleberry Taffy addictions, this episode we're honored to have SuperFan of the podcast and a hell of a musician, our own B.B, a.k.a. Brett Basil, not Zazzle.
Hello.
Welcome, Brett.
Thank you.
Hi, Brett.
Thank you. Hello, Donna. I like that he got the pronunciation right.
Basil, not Zazzle?
Not Basil, not Bazel, not, it's Ocasek, it's one of those things.
I still prefer Basile.
Basili, and then you said Basilique, and then you got all, yes.
Brett.
Greek. It's just like Fawlty Towers.
Yep, you got it. All right, so let's get this pod on the way. We're super excited to have Brett on the show, and we got a full list of things to talk about, so we're going to get to the news.
All righty.
Up first in the news, Donna, old Rick had another one of his art shows.
He's been a busy boy.
Yep, at Wentworth Gallery, and that was posted on Facebook, as you know.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that, I'm looking at this thing, it's like, hey, are you interested in going? It's like, shit, I'm going. I pressed that button. I'm going.
So did you actually go?
Hell no.
Oh.
I just said I'm going. And then lo and behold, the only person who comments about me going is Donna, Sweet Purple June.
When will I ever learn? When?
Hey, I had no idea you were going. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Truly, and you never said anything to me, so I was like, oh, he's saving it for the podcast. He must be saving it.
Wow. And I was like, well, I'm going to pick up and go. I said, I'll just press the button that I'm going.
Jeez, Dave.
What the hell?
What a letdown. I was gearing up. I thought, oh, for sure, you were going to tell me some great story.
No, I have nothing other than I pressed a button that said going.
Dang it.
That was it. That was it.
That was
But,
mean.
yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
meanest joke you've played on me today, but that was mean.
I know. But hey, I discovered something again this week. You know, people who are fans of the podcast know that anything that I hear in past podcasts that I think would sound great at half speed, I'm playing it, man.
No.
I'm playing it. And so just kind of let me set this up with some kind of fake premise. This is when Donna and I were just coming off the Cleveland experience. And, you know, we were all germy from Becky. And we were both just really doses and doses and doses of cold medicine. And we just started talking about the Cap and Swing episode. And then she decided to blow my mind about Magic Pants.
Oh, jeez.
I give her credit for it because it's awesome. She suggested, she said, of course you have to discuss tonight that Captain Swing is Rick and Ben is Magic Pants. You see?
Mind blown.
Gee.
Oh.
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
I just pictured that with a bottle of wine in one hand,
Yeah.
glass half full in the other,
Yeah.
and you going, yeah. Sitting on the couch going, yeah, she's had too many.
Donna blew my mind.
Wow.
Magic Pan. Yeah.
Pretty great.
Hey. But really, what I'm really excited about is that with Brett, with you being on the show, I finally get to tell my Cleveland airplane story. Donna's been waiting for this one. I've held it back from her. Okay. So, you know, everybody on Facebook has been reminiscing about the Cleveland experience and, you know, kind of reliving and so forth. So, my big experience was I was in O'Hare, had been in there for 5 hours, and I was kind of cranky and didn't really want to deal with people anymore. So by the time I got on my flight home, I was just a little cranky traveler, and I just wanted to immerse myself in solitude. So I decided to be one of those people who sits down, plugs their earphone or earbuds in, and just stares out the window.
Okay.
And so I don't have to engage anyone, right? So cranking up the music, all right? Music I'm cranking up, BB, okay?
Nice.
So
Nice.
I'm sitting there enjoying my BB, and about halfway through the flight, I see the attendant come by, and this older lady who's sitting directly in front of me stops her, and I can see her talking, and then at some point I see the attendant look me right in the eye, okay? And so I pause it, and then the attendant says, I hear the attendant say, ma'am, I don't hear anything. She says, well, someone keeps playing their music too loud, blah, 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 blah. Well, you might as well just say straight to me, please, dude, turn it up and bother me more, because that was the kind of mood I was in, right? So I turned it up louder,
Gee.
okay? And, you know, it's earphone sound. You know, how bad can it be? So the attendant continues down the aisle, and I'm cranking up my BB, and a couple of minutes go by, and I shit you not, from the side of the seat in front of me comes this old weathered blotchy hand with these big ass fingernails on it, and she starts clicking them on the window and right beside me as if to shut me off. And I'm thinking, what the fuck, old woman hand? What are you clicking your talons at Brett Basil for? You can't do that. You know, I just ignored her. I just continued on the flight, you know, made it in. And so when the plane landed, I tried my damnedest to see what this woman looked like, because all I saw was her, you know, blotchy old hand. But guess what? She's one of those people that, when the plane lands, they get up and they start moving forward, blocking everybody else who is in front of them from getting out so they can get off the plane first. That's the kind of lady she was. So I never even got to see her. She's out of there. Yeah.
That was my aunt. I
So
know
that's
her.
that was your aunt? Yeah. That's
No, wow.
like a Cleveland story. So,
Wow.
somebody
Wow.
in Springfield hates your guts, BB. That's all I'm saying.
One? Only one?
Haters gonna hate, man. And I think she's
Haters.
around 90, and
coming
she's
after
got
you.
talent. Yeah,
She's
she's
got
coming after.
Clicking the talons on the window.
She's coming after you. dude.
There's
Wow.
a bad alt artist on the headphones. Stop it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You have to point her out. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So Donna, any news on your end?
I do have a couple of items. Yeah, I wanted to mention to everybody, in case they didn't know, that our awesome friend Rock Hall Robin, who we have talked about on the show before, I discovered published her own book. In 2015, she wrote a book called Out of Left Field, and it's a baseball novel about and a kind of an historical novel about early Cleveland. And I'm just amazed. You can find it on Amazon. I have not read it yet. I ordered it immediately the day I found out, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But it looks super interesting. And what I want to know is, because Robin's got to be like what? Well, I think she can drink. So is she just 21? She's so young.
Oh, I thought she was like 16, but with a fake
Yeah.
ID.
Well, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, did she write this book when she was like 9?
I think so.
She's so young. I can't believe she already wrote and published a book.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's very,
Pretty awesome.
very awesome. So
I am deep into the book, and I will say that my favorite part is when Benjamin Orr is driving by in his horse and buggy, and some guy behind him pulls a knife, and without even stopping the horse, he elbows that fucker right in the face and steals the guy's knife. Kicks him out of the buggy.
Was he wearing antique vintage flip-flops?
It doesn't say in the book.
Dang
Just grab it.
Dang it.
Pretty sure.
Wow. I can't wait till I get to that part.
Yep.
Seems like history repeated a lot with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More on a knife.
Well, it wasn't Benjamin Orr. It was his great, grandfather or whatever.
Grandfather Benny Orr.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun. So it just comes around.
Yep.
Comes around. The other thing I was going to point out was that there was an interview with Ric Ocasek on the 15th, February 15th it came out, and it was from a publication called The Vinyl District, and he said, and I'm quoting, he said, "I'm working on an album now. I'd like to have it done by summer, so we'll see."
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey,
Hey, you know what?
he's
If
working
I was
on
in
an
the
album.
desert and I got bit by a rattlesnake and Ric Ocasek comes along and says, "Don't worry, Dave, I'm going to go run and get help," I'm a dead man. That's pretty much
Why
how
are you
Rick
saying
works.
that? What are you basing that on?
I'm basing that on when Rick. It takes Rick forever. Come on, he hasn't put anything out since 2005.
Well, he put out Move Like This in 2011.
Well, yeah, but that's the Cars album. Well, let's look at it this way. He hasn't put anything out since 2011.
Dang it.
True.
Okay, yes, but he didn't promise that he would either, did he? Did he say somewhere that he was working on an album all these years? No. And then right before the Rock Hall, he said, "Oh, he's got some music kind of on hold. He's got some ideas." But he didn't say he was working on them. He just said, "Oh, I got music." And then now he says, "I'm working on an album."
Okay, so you're saying like right now he's working on an album.
I believe that he's in the process of it. If he says he wants it to be out by summer, that's a few months away. I mean, he must be in process, don't you think?
I would assume, yeah. It would be
I hope
great
so.
to have
It would be
new
so
Rick
awesome.
music by summer, but I'm holding my breath.
Oh, you are or you're not? Because if you are, that.
I'm not holding my breath.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing something with my breath.
Whatever it is that means that you think it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm just saying that's a bit of news. Let's keep our eyes and ears peeled, people, because my vote is it's going to happen. In
Right.
I think it'll be this summer, but if not, for sure in 2019. He wouldn't say that if he wasn't serious. I don't think.
No, I don't think he would.
So, yay,
All
that's
right.
exciting.
So let's start this this BB episode off with a conversation that Brett and I had earlier, which neither one of us had a clue. Okay.
Okay.
I think it's because we're older. Donna, I know you got a few years on us, right? The other way.
Oh. Yeah.
So maybe and you know you've got such good memory. How did we discover each other? How did we discover Brett and his music, and how did that get into the Night Thoughts podcast? Do you have any clue? I can't even remember.
Well, I remember how I learned about Brett, but you had already known about Brett, because let's see, I started my blog in 2016, and shortly, like the next, because we started the podcast in 2017, so like the summer of 2017-ish, Brett sent me the debut CD, and he wanted me to review it, or just not review it like officially, but to listen to it.
Just listen.
Yeah, that was that was the summer of 2017. And I got this CD, and I didn't really know Brett. I mean, I think he said to me like, I listen to or I read your blog, and you know, can I send you this copy of my CD? And so I was like, sure, that'd be great. But I was so new to, like, I was thinking, who am I? Like, what am I going to do with it? You know, like, I don't have any, I don't have an audience.
Is it a coaster in your house somewhere? Because that's really rude, Donna.
No, it's not. But I did not listen to it right away. I remember getting it, and I was thinking, boy, he has really nice handwriting, because if you wrote the letter that came with it, it was really nice handwriting.
I remember you showing me the handwriting.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously. An A in penmanship, Brett.
Not me.
Oh, he didn't do
I have
it.
to tell you, that's the other half of my life. He's the best penman I got, and after 4 carpal tunnel surgeries, I'm lucky I can strum a G note.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's Marty. Marty takes care of all that for me. He mails it out. Yeah. Sorry. I wish I could take credit, but I don't take credit when due.
All right.
Well, so I haven't, so I didn't listen to it right away, but I remember mentioning it to Dave somehow, because I think somehow, Dave, you and I got to talking about it, and you had said, I thought you had hooked Brett up with me, or
yes,
or
somehow
connected. You had already known about him.
I got wind of Brett's album. It had, you know, it was probably a retweet or something. Or something, or maybe, yeah, maybe somebody retweeted, maybe something Brett had tweeted or whatever, but I actively searched out the album on CD Baby.
Okay.
And got the CD.
Do you remember when that was?
Heck no. I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So, yeah, so I think that's pretty much how it started.
Yeah.
But then we did the episode of Influenced By.
Yes.
And of course I had Brett in there.
Yes.
So, you know, I kind of went from there.
And I think that encouraged me more to, because I can't remember if I had listened to it by then.
No.
Or not.
You said so on the show that you said that, wow, I haven't listened to this.
Okay, yeah. And then but I do know that was then like, oh, I need to go deeper with this. I need to check this out. So that was, that's kind of where it all started.
I do know Dave and me discussed a few things before that show even aired. And I know I offered that CD to Dave that Donna has, and he said, sorry, I already have one.
I said, I have it. You owe me $10.
Oh. I hope he didn't pay $10. That's the thing I hate about Apple.
I don't.
No.
No. I got the CD.
The CD.
Off CD Baby.
Oh, perfect. So, okay, yeah, you got a physical copy.
So I got it for $2.50. I can't remember what I bought it for.
$2.50.
Yeah, well, that's what I get out of it. So I think you gave $5. Yeah. That's how that works.
Gotcha.
You know what I get from Apple iTunes? 3 whole cents
per song,
per album.
What?
No way.
Nuh-uh.
No joke.
Wow.
Ask Peter Frampton. He made $1,700 and went before Congress and said that.
Wow.
Off of his stuff from Apple iTunes, $1,700.
That's not right.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so I back to this. You can cut all that out if you want. But it's boring as paint drying. But in all truthfulness, Dave, you made some art, and you stuck the debut CD, and in a car, very similar to.
I was doing this is my tunes that I'm listening to this week.
Yeah, and it said Night Thoughts approved, and somebody sent it to me. Said, "You know this guy?" No, but I need to, because if he's actually that sick, he needs to be listening to my song. He's committing suicide in that car. No. He's got the door shut. I got to reach out to him.
I was obviously taken in a garage. You can see the exhaust.
I thought he was took off with Knight Rider. It was a wonderful looking car. He took off with Knight Rider. He's got the CD. He's all depressed. He's on the beach. He's going, oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So in all seriousness, I went looking because he had already sent this out. I clicked like. The next thing I know, we're talking.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And just latched onto each other on Twitter. And then he was going, do you do Facebook? I said, nah, I don't really do that.
Stay away from there, my friend.
Yeah. Can I say this? Stalkers. I collect them.
Yeah.
I get a lot of.
Me too. How do you think I hooked up with Donna on this podcast?
Oh my goodness.
Stalker.
Stalker alert. It should just,
But I've forgiven you
Got a
for
good-
stalking me, Dave. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
There you
forgiven
go.
you.
And see, I thought it was the other way around. I was going to say, at least you got a good one. I got to keep throwing mine back.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
then,
go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's just the other thing that was goosebumps for me. It was goosebumps. I was actually going, is this guy associated with cars? And then I got to reading about you, where you used to work. I used to live like a block away. Kid you not.
Really?
Wow.
No joke. And so then I got to thinking, did he get the CD from, one of the local stores or something? Because I lived probably a block from being able to run into this guy in 2016.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm slower than hell. It took me a long time to figure out that we don't live very far from each other. As a matter of fact, when I figured it out was when I was looking at the Call on Me video, and you said, "Oh, was taken between the two times." Like, well, that's on the way to my grandkid's house.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's when it all kind of clicked. I'm like, oh, holy crap, local boy.
Right. I lived there 3 years, but now I'm in Western, but I come back and forth, and medical reasons have got me stuck up here right now. So, and I'm still in that other location though, Dave. I could throw a rock and hit you right now. Donna, should I?
Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into the music. Let's talk about it. And I want to start out with, I was thinking about this, about what it is that I like about your music. And I'll try to explain this the best way I can. It's kind of like, it transports me back to, I don't want to say the 80s per se, but to teenage Dave, not the crying one, Bye Bye Love, but the Dave that was like, senior in high school, early years in college, driving down the road, windows down, that kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the kind of charge that I, getting when I'm putting in the Brett music in my car. It just has that vibe to me, and it's timeless too. It's timeless music, but it just gives me that feeling of when I was 16 or whatever, and driving around in my baby shit yellow Pontiac Ventura and that kind of thing. But there's elements in your music that remind me of what I love, and probably most importantly, I would say lyrics. I mean, and because there's lots of artists that I listen to, and the music is awesome. You get to the lyrics and it's like, what the fuck? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, the lyrics is the basis, of a good song. It has to mean something. You have to connect with you. And a lot of your songs connect with me. But the other thing is your voice, your singing voice, has a deep, I'm sure we'll hear that story later, has deep, warming, quality to it. It's kind of like, and I don't know if this is a good thing for you, Brett, or a bad thing for you, but there's like kind of like a Bob Geldof voice. Are you familiar with Bob Geldof's voice?
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, there's a lot of range there, but it's that lower tone, and you don't find that very much. And then, don't get me started on the kick-ass guitar, because that's holy shit. That's the part that just gets me going. It's all the guitar riffs and stuff that you pull off on these albums.
Well,
So
depends on which ones you're talking about, because actually Exceed was a group effort. So, yeah.
oh well, bust my
Yeah.
bubble.
Group effort, my friend, because this, as we've discussed before, I am the bad luck Brian of indie rock. I fell down a flight of stairs at that wonderful stone's throw place.
Oh my gosh.
And I broke my hand,
Oh, Brett.
my arm in 3 places, and then my other wrist.
Oh my goodness.
All while
So-
my partner is going through a brain tumor surgery. This is no joke.
Wow.
I pass out at the top of the stairs, and boom. So Jordan
Wow.
Egler, who's a great musician, was producing the record. He just ended up finishing it. What you hear of me is demos. The stuff that we did from the demos, he extracted it. And Jordan was the major musical force on that record.
But that's on Exceed, correct?
That's on Exceed, yes. The
Well, see,
other
I've been
two-
talking about Exceed.
well, there you go.
I could totally tell that wasn't your guitar work in Exceed.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah. Well, see, no, I don't think of my guitar work as anything other than, a few chords, and I really don't. I don't think of myself as anything other than somebody that can feel their way around the room on the drums or the bass or the guitar and kind of hum. I'm a writer. And then when that gets kicked, I'm sitting here welling up, actually going, this guy gets what I'm trying to do. And the lyrics aren't over-exaggerated. They're not, there's people that go way too far with trying to make a point. Those tell you the grammatical reasoning for you can't say what you just said. And I think it's a pop song, you moron.
Yeah.
You're making it too hard. And that's
Yeah.
why you're not selling records. That's why you're not connecting with anyone. And you can edit that out if you want.
Hell no.
But I've had my fair share of trying to do this and then gave up on it for a while. And it's just what Dave said, that people said to me, just do what you're comfortable doing. And that's how it started again. And if it wouldn't have been for someone like Dave encouraging me, it wasn't him, but someone who's just as they got it, that this is not easy to do, but at the same time, it should sound easy. It should sound fun, like you're driving around and listening to somebody.
Exactly.
Sorry, you really got me emotional now. That was very, very nice. I'd love to use that in print ads. Dave says.
Yeah.
Dave
Well-
says.
Makes you feel 16 again.
Yeah.
It does, and I think for me it's like it's very dancey. It's very sunshine. For the most part. I mean, you definitely have songs that, get you right in the feels. I mean, there's some heart-wrenching ballads and songs you have on there. But for the most part, especially the synthesizer work is so, just like Dave said, it's summertime, it's dancey, to me it's sunshine. And I agree with the lyrics. One of the notes that I wrote down was that you have a really nice way of creating word pictures with just a few, within that limited space you have in a song, in a set of lyrics, you create really good word pictures, and some of your lines are just zingers, like things you like, especially the first time or second time through listening to each CD, there would be songs where you would say a line and I would think, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And in fact, in one of your songs, and I'm not going to tell people which because you're just going to have to buy the CDs, but one of your songs made me blush. Like I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, Don, it's not hard to make you blush. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
but this was like seriously
hidden
blushable.
innuendos?
Yes, and some not quite so hidden. Some were pretty like
Well,
wow.
there you go. And honestly, that's a matter of me breaking down. I don't know. I think Michael Stipe once said it, that you can push down a wall every once in a while and go,
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge him. That was probably something after debut, I guess.
Yeah.
And taking a chance at going, I'm going to be. But I don't like using the 4-letter in music. I just don't.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't want. I want your kids to be able to listen to this.
Well, I do skip naked when my kids are in the car. I do skip
Well,
that
yeah, you know, there are. I kid you not, true story. I gave that CD to a man who's very strong in faith, and I did not realize until I thought, uh-oh, lost again naked.
Yeah.
And he wasn't terse. He was actually just loved the CD.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's so good.
He's from, I wouldn't say, well, he's a modern guy, but he just realized that this is secular music, it's pop music, and he liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so shocked that it's just what you said. People get it, and if there's something there, they kind of move on. They know. They're not, what's the word? They're not naive.
Yeah.
They're not, such a wordsmith tonight. Sorry, Donna. It's almost like somebody pulled a practical joke, and I'm still reeling from it.
Well, we obviously, you know, the first thing that caught me, you know, was excuse me, was the kind of the Cars influence, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
So what other kind of musical influences do you think you bring into your music? I mean, who were you into when you were in high school and growing up and those kinds in the 80s, like me?
I think this is so true too. I was thinking about this today because I don't know. I had a funny feeling that question was going to come up. So I was thinking the first thing I remember hearing was bubblegum music. Believe it or not, my parents loved country music, and it was just kind of like furniture in the house to me. It was just something we listened to, but I remember bubblegum music, 68, 69 kind of area of anything from Yummy Yummy.
Yeah.
How ironic. Sounds very Cars-like now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But those simple lyrics that could mean something altogether different. Maybe not so much the David Cassidy Partridge Family, let's jump on the bus and drive it off a cliff kind of stuff. But there was some good bubblegum, and it got your attention, it got you in, got you out. That I remember. And then the dichotomy of the Rolling Stones and the Who. Really was a big Who fan. All the way up to high school, and then some. Anyone that back then would probably think that's all I listened to. Listened to some punk rock, kind of got it, but when New Wave come along, that was my, like a lot of guitar players say, the blues, they hear da-na-na-na-na, and that was it. They pooped their pants, they're done. Get a guitar. For me, it was actually more the keyboard era of synthesizers, and that's what I was doing for a long time, trying to figure out how to play. Dun, 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 dun. And that first Cars record, that whole thing on Naked, that is my homage to Mr. Greg Hawkes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that song. But so obviously you play guitar, obviously you play keys. What else do you play? Tuba?
Bass.
Bass tuba?
No, I did try that. Aha. I wanted to play sax. Now, come on, Dave. You knew that. Bass, kind of a given off of because I did play keyboards and I did play bass for a long time in a lot of bar bands. Okay. And a couple original bands that just kind of failed. But I didn't really start. I had this conversation with somebody the other day, too, on Twitter. I didn't really start playing guitar until about 2009 with other bands.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. No, and the first shot was playing lead in Chicago. And I thought, oh, this is going to suck. But it just was a momentum builder. I mean, guys were coming into this club, and they were bringing in amplifiers bigger than, buses. And here I come in with my little 40-watt amp and set it in front of a mic. Filled the room. I mean, it was a really good night. I don't like playing favorites, but I thought, I'd listen to us. What the heck? So I kept playing. but not really professional at it for quite some time.
So on your albums, are you playing all the instruments on your albums? I mean, I know
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
not on Exceed.
No,
You've already said.
No, I think that also Jordan has done some sort of thing on Exceed where I can't tell who's playing bass and I can't tell who's playing what on some things, but even keyboards he's playing on that. So it's a mishmash of what anyone's game, who's playing what, except those lead guitars. Those are Jordan. On that debut record, that's all me.
Okay.
Yeah, all of
All
it.
me.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Kit and caboodle. So then
Yeah.
we come to Melt. I'm trying to think of who was on that. I know for sure a woman named Cheryl Thompson come in. Good friend,
She
heck
did
of
the
a singer.
vocals.
She did vocals on Only Light. She was supposed to have been on Where I Should Be. Got cut because some overlapping issue.
Was she
So
on
we moved
Unspoken?
She was on Unspoken. Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. I know we can't get too far ahead of ourselves, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, true. Hey, well, I tell you what. Let's do this. Before we start talking about Mel, let's talk a little bit more about the debut.
Okay.
And then we're gonna be playing some cuts from Brett's albums tonight, and hopefully the Union Boys won't shut us down when we do that. Meaning YouTube, and we'll do that. But on as far as debut goes, we talked about the song "Naked" before. Any other notable standout songs for you, Brett, that are really kind of personal to you, or
from that particular album?
Yeah,
that whole thing is really personal to me for one reason. It's the first time I ever did a solo record, and I had 25 years to write. And I gave all the good songs to everyone else.
Yeah.
So I do remember two things. I think one, maybe I told you this. Naked, Time, and Lust Again were not on that record, believe it or not.
Huh.
Time was being finished, and I went at the last minute, like 23 point whatever, and I said to Tom Deckham, I said, wait, I got 2 more songs. And he's like, oh, geez, yeah, I don't know if you're running out of... I said, please, can we put these on there? And then he looked at me after we did them and finally had them captured that day, and he goes, yeah, I'm so glad you said stop, because these 2... front and back. There you go. So that's what we did. Yeah, I mean, Naked's at front. I think Lust Again ends it, or Time, one of the two.
Time ends it.
Can't remember. But, yeah, I definitely think It Gets Better. It was a good little... because it was commissioned and asked for by somebody named J.D. Doyle for the It Gets Better project. It Gets Better project, sorry. And the other one is probably Don't Say a Word.
Yeah.
Just remember that starting the whole record, believe it or not. That moody vibe of I need to get some things out from me. Yeah.
And the do you mind explaining about the Gets Better project? What that had to do with?
Yeah, there was a lot of J.D. Doyle used to play a band I was in on a show called Out Radio. And it came at a time where a lot of people were deciding to leave the planet because they were gay. And I had written some songs and been in an openly gay band and said, maybe I should do something. And he highly encouraged it, and that was the product of it. And at the time he played it on the show, I didn't realize it till today. It did say that band's name, but he credited it for me. And then we did officially record it. But he played a demo on his show of that, and it really encouraged me a little bit more to move forward with doing a record on my own.
Yeah. And that was a song that I listened to the first time, and I was just, thinking in terms of just, hey, if you're having a hard time in your life, things get better, that kind of thing. But when I watched the video on YouTube, then I realized, oh my gosh, this is so much deeper than what I could fathom at the time. And it's just the fact of the bullying and the feeling lonely and so forth and what this song is all about. I think it's a excellent song to put towards the project like that. Fantastic.
Thank you. I grew up with that, and I don't know too many people my age who didn't grow up with stuff like that going on in their life. I don't know what to say other than I hope it does get better for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you've got this extra added problem, especially when I grew up, that I hope it does get better for kids today, where they don't have to hide so much and have to worry about who they love.
Yeah.
And I think that goes without saying, that no one should have to feel like they want to harm themselves.
Yeah.
Or
Exactly.
just being themselves.
And it doesn't even have to really, when you think about it, when just kids being bullied just for being different for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Just think of all the times you hear in the news about that happening. And as an educator, I see those kinds of things, and I'm sure, like you two, my heart just breaks.
Yeah.
And I want to do something about it. And I'm the kind of teacher that, especially when I taught middle school, when I saw kids bullying other kids, I would act on it, and I'd go up and say, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this to that person?" Not in front of the person they're bullying, but don't you understand what you're doing to them? You don't have a right to make that person feel that way. And it's just the kind of person I am. But it's incredible, the cruelty of people, especially kids in middle school. Holy shit, they're evil.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I kid you not. 2 days ago, going by a school's closed, 2 little boys throwing rocks at a girl. She's just walking on like, I just, every instinct in my body to go, well, if they're doing it, I can't wait to meet the parents when I so yeah, seriously. I mean, there's some sort of issue there where I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to blame a parent, honestly, but when it comes down to it, there's something we seem to find as kids that age. We go, hey, I don't want to be the freak. You're the freak.
Yeah.
There's some sort of, I'm going to pick on you. It's going to make me feel better. Everybody's going to laugh. Yep. Hopefully we can stop that.
I still have that problem with Donna. I got to pick on Donna and pick.
It's almost as if there was a cruel joke on Donna, and she's always trying to get revenge.
I'm jealous of her sunshine, Brett.
Oh, I feel so guilty now.
Yeah. She's so fucking perfect. It pisses me off.
Oh my gosh.
He's quoting Radiohead. There you go.
Okay.
That
is very, very honorable. Great.
I actually wrote Donna and said, you know what, you inspire me to be a better person. And she went, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
What?
Did I not? Did I tell you? Like, I've got a grammar Nazi at home, and she's a very word Nazi. I'm like, between the two of them, I've got to pick up my game. Yeah. I'm not going on going like you know.
Well,
welcome to my world, buddy. That's all I can say.
Jeez. Well, you do just fine, Brett, because like we said, your lyrics are, you have a way with words, and you get word pictures out there. I love the debut album. And I was going to say, so of course, Naked is a great song. I also love That Kiss.
Thanks.
That is that's one that I dance around my kitchen to when I'm cooking dinner and I put that CD on.
I want to see video of that.
Oh, stop. You hush yourself for a minute. It's my turn.
Can't you just imagine her like stirring the potatoes to That Kiss?
Yeah, I can. That would be a great video. It would be a great video.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was going to be a video for that. It was just, not in the budget.
Anyway.
Yes,
one of the things I noticed about this album that I really like is that you go between, you have some very passionate songs like Naked and Lust Again, of course, and then you have sort of the standard love song kind of thing, and then you move to these like super inspired, like it feels like you're just coming alongside the listener going, you know what, just like you were saying, it gets better. A World Like Ours is so good. Mm-hmm. But I really love your inspirational song on there that really spoke to me was Room for Me.
Me too. Let's go. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, ding, ding, ding. I love that when you said that you're now that you've checked your baggage, there's room for me. And I was just like, that is so true. That is just so true. It really, I just really connected with that song. I love so many songs on the album, but that is probably the top connection for me was Room for Me. I love that song.
Well, thank
and
you.
And that album came out in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And hey, why don't we go ahead and play that kick-ass song?
Yeah.
And this time it's not going to be from a secondhand source. This is going to be full in. Turn up your whatever you're listening to on, folks, and let's listen to some NiGHT. All right, so that was NiGHT off Brett's debut album from 2011. That song, I mean, seriously, it just kicks ass. It gets me going. The beginning of that, just love it.
I just picture like people going, okay, Google that, and then like some horrid image pops up. I'm all from SeaWorld.
Yeah, don't type it.
Yeah, no,
NiGHT
that's
into Google. The Brett song's not going to come up.
Yeah, or naked Brett Basil.
Yeah, actually, the video will come up though. The video will come up. There you go.
Be careful, people.
The Rubenesque area.
Make good choices.
You're safe. It'll say your safe search is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Are you over 18?
Yes.
The thing I love about that is the twist in the third verse. The first time I listened to that, I was just like, ooh, ouch.
I don't really give away stories too much, but I'll just tell you what. That was looking back and going, that was a true story. Believe it or not. That was a very true story.
Wow.
High school.
Wow.
So think about that third verse. Come
I'm
around and
blushing
you're
again.
like, no, thanks. Go away, guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't
So it
even
was
acknowledge me.
Exactly.
Yikes.
And then seeing that person 20 years later, and all they did, oh, hey, hi, how you doing? I finally accepted all that, and let's talk. And I was like, you had your chance.
Yeah, there you go.
How
Wow.
you doing? So yeah, and just
So take us into Melt, Brett. That's now we're looking at 3 years later, 2014, and
got a little late start on one. It was kind of a Rick moment, believe it or not. I kept going, am I going to do it or not? I did one really good one, scared to tears to do another one.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
And just ended up getting a cab and saying, I'm going to Tom Degelman's, going to see if he wants to do another one. And he's like, you got to do another one. So we got a late start, tracked the whole album in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, and just started from there.
It's really good.
And you know what's funny? I've talked to you before about Exceed, and of course we'll talk about that in a little bit. But and talking about what a awesome album that was for me. But after listening to the BB catalog, Melt is my favorite album.
Really,
it's become my favorite album. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but it just is.
Thanks. I like that actually. I'll never be able to do another Exceed. And Melt, I could possibly do another Melt.
Yeah, it's
no. In all seriousness, that's kind of getting a lot of play again. Not kind of, it is. I've been watching Spotify, and for some odd reason, the first 5 songs are right in the top at any given point. They're floating in and out, whereas Exceed's kind of done its thing, 7 singles and 7 songs that got promoted, and it's falling. And out of nowhere, the one that didn't really get a lot of attention is like the one that's making the biggest move right now. I actually got royalties from that a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So that's just shocking.
It's interesting how the debut I feel like is very synth heavy. There's a lot of that, and then you definitely bring in a lot more guitar in Melt. It's a little more rockin'. It's more guitar
intended.
driven. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I love the synth too, but it's a nice balance.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the thing about that when you talk about not a whole lot of synth, but when you have like a song like Twisted, that blows my mind. That synth part in there. I mean, and that is, I'm telling you, if that song could be smack dab in the middle of the 80s and be a frickin' MTV hit.
Yeah.
It has that sound to it. It's just.
Somebody wrote me and said, oh, I love that new song. Are you doing a Depeche Mode cover? And I took that as one heck of I said, oh, there you go. You talk about influence, Depeche Mode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cars. Yeah. So I was thrilled by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can just see the laser lights going off.
Oh, yeah.
That song.
And that one started the record, too. That was the first catalyst, having this notion for a song that was, again, based on a true story, but you'd never want to know that story. But yeah, it's just, honestly, the whole notion of the whole Twisted, how it warps itself around in there, was a story someone told me they ate chocolate till they got sick.
Oh.
They loved this chocolate, and they just could not stop eating it, and then halfway through it with beer and they got sick, and I thought, isn't that Twisted? Wait a minute.
Yeah. I did that with Oreos.
Isn't it something? Once loved, so delectable. So it's kind of the same. You can OD on anything you so. This person told me about Brock Stars and just pounding them down because they hadn't had them for ages, and it sounded like a drunken night of never having liquor in their life. They're in the porcelain god room. Sorry, but those little ghosts that are in the room that you pull them out and you go, there's a story there I can expand on.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
Now, you talked about the backup singer who's in an Unspoken and Only Light. What's her name again?
Christine.
Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl.
Cheryl Thompson.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Sorry.
She is a
Sorry, Cheryl.
wonderful talent. And actually, this Feld project, which she was supposed to be a part of it too, but we couldn't get a hold of her. So, I mean, she is a heck of a singer. She walked in the studio to do those parts. And I remember I was playing a big, for lack of a better word, the organ part at the beginning of Unspoken.
Yes.
I was doing that live, and she was there, and Tom was at the board, being the huckster that he is, and she sings, and he looks at me like, what the hell is this? Oh, no, don't blow her first time here in this environment. The track stops, and he looks at me and he goes, that's how you should do it, one take. One take.
That Unspoken puts me into a Zen mode. That the beginning synth and everything, and speaking of having a personal connection, you talk about what the songs mean to you and how you wrote them, but as a listener, we all have our own individual interpretations, and that Unspoken, gosh, see, I shouldn't do this. Coming off the prednisone.
I know, don't cry, Dave.
I'm not going to cry, but Unspoken reminds me of my late wife. And it just reminds me of our time when we were dating together and so forth. Just the lyrics, put your arms around me and like touched by the wings of an angel. And did I get that lyric right? I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that, and it's just like, whoa. And it just blows my mind, that song.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I can't picture anyone being more angelic than that voice on there, the I hear you calling.
Yes.
I did that several times, and I said, we got to bring her in here. She's the angel. And to connect it with Only Light, and she does the full circle.
Yeah.
On that whole theme of this angelic force pulling you into another world. And Dave, you nail it. I know I shouldn't tell a lot of stories because they are yours now. That is just the point of it. And what's funny is it's universal. That's what it means to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Or I was so worried about those lyrics. They're so different from anything else, and they, some of them don't even rhyme in a stanza. But then I thought, oh hell, stand back, look at that. There's times where it doesn't even have the same amount of measure. But, and not that I'm anywhere close to that, but I thought it does have an emotion. And that's kind of what Ric does. Ric could have bad cucumbers and blackened fish, and the beat, Bill, you go, hey, it's a meal. I'll have the
Where you been eating, man?
I've been having those new meals, the O's, the Ric Ocasek meal.
Oh.
I've had the busted Christmas chops.
Yeah.
The bad cucumbers. Dave,
Yeah.
Wow.
Got it.
Yeah, I've been eating a lot of troubleizing lately, so there.
I got you.
Go.
All right.
Great album. Great album.
It is.
Yeah, it's really good. I love I feel like it walks through, it starts out with Where I Should Be, Melt does, and which is like it starts out with you, like this is where I'm at in my walk and in my healing process, and then it moves into this pursuit of a relationship.
Got it.
Kind of, and then you have this love, this blooming love sort of thing, and then Twisted kind of gets thrown in there, which is a little painful. But then it continues on, and you get to Melt, and Melt just melts me. I love it.
And
I had to say it.
Melt.
I had to say it because it's so.
Yeah.
It's unapologetic right from the loins. It's just. But you so nailed it. It starts out with Where I Should Be.
Yeah.
Right,
And I remember posting that song, and somebody said, "What, in a dumpy apartment?"
Oh. Whoops.
And I said, "No, in the relationship you wish you were having." Because I just met Marty. So that was the story. There you go. I mean, Debut is this guy who's been dating forever, didn't really. And this was, I'm moving in with someone for the first time in my life. And this story just took off. So outside of Twisted and a few of those little breakup, that was fabricated. It's not life, in itself. It's stories. But she nailed it. Those first songs.
Yeah.
This is where I am at in my life, and I'm telling you all about it.
And going back to that vibe that I was talking about of listening with the car windows open and so forth, this album has that just driving guitar that I always enjoyed listening to. It's just what else can I say? But it's kick-ass.
Yeah.
I don't know if kick-ass is a compliment to a musician, but Brett, it's kick-ass. It's
Absolutely.
Kick-ass.
And it was a ballsy move. Like Donna said, there's not a lot of synths, and that's my main instrument to cover everything up with. And where I was absolutely confident as a musician. Tremble, note for note, me, just sliding around on that keyboard, just having fun.
It's fun, yeah.
It's a very kind of Talking Heads meets Greg kind of solo. Yeah. And that little riff going down is kind of an homage to Runaway, which Greg has done that a couple times, sliding off the notes. I don't know if he meant to do that, but he's done it several times too.
He's just falling down when he does that.
Whoopsie daisy.
Whoops. I would never be able to do 1 hour with that man. I would have to ask him a million questions, none of which anyone would know the answer to but him or care to listen to.
Greg.
Mostly gear talk.
We always portray Greg as such a clumsy little guy. I love him.
Maybe me and him would have a lot in common. How many bones did you break today?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it funny? We make fun of Greg Hawkes saying that he's a klutz, and really it's Brett.
It's Brett, yeah.
Brett's the guy that falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason Greg falls is I'm riding on his coattails tonight. So there you go. Thank you, Greg. That's a major inspiration, that man right there. I mean, seriously. I can't think of sometimes there is that WWGD. What would Greg do moment? If I can't figure something out, I'll go back and I'll listen to stuff. And maybe that's cheating, maybe it's not. But he's the only person that I go, that's solid, everything he does. And I know he sits down and thinks about it. Elliot sits down and thinks about it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I have to go, well, what did they think about? Because I forgot what I was doing here. So those two really, just the melody of that band, you and Ben's voice. And so anyway, I forgot what the hell we was talking about. Take me out of here.
One thing I want to say.
Magic Band.
Magic Pants.
Take me away, Magic Pants.
Hey, Brett, did you know that Rick is Magic Pants?
No.
On Cap and Swing, and
actually,
Benjamin is Magic Pants.
Yeah.
I listened to the last episode. That's the first time it registered me too.
Whoa!
I just always made those jokes, and now there's Magic Pants from Rucka.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny mentioned that, right?
Yes, that was Jenny's little tidbit.
Did you know?
Oh, right. Dave, we're gonna play Chance, right, off the Melt album.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I tell you what I love about? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope. Go ahead.
No, you
go.
Okay. I want to go because when I listen to Chance, to me, that is an EE worthy solo.
Yeah.
That guitar solo on Chance is concise. It packs a punch. It has a great sound to it, and it just boom. It's so great. I love that solo. And then I also love the tambourine in that song. It's awesome.
My favorite part is the guitar riff followed up by the
yes.
I'll tell you what, I'm beating my steering wheel every time that happens.
Love it.
You owe $1 to Tom Deckelman every time you do that then, because he came up with the idea of the tambourine and the hand clap.
Boom.
He really did, and he pushed whoever the percussionist was. I think their name's on the record somewhere. But yeah, he pushed Carl to keep doing this, and he did the hand claps with us, everything that's percussion. Tom did, actually. So, I mean, when you hear Follow Your Heart, Tom, programming and otherwise. So he had a big hand in doing this.
Yeah.
And
no pun intended.
Well, he did.
Yeah. There you go. All right, let's play Chance from Melt 2014.
Here we go.
Since you've gone from my life, I've been down and out. I need you back in my life, and there can be no doubt. If there's one thing I've learned since you left me, if there's one thing I know, is that you're still a part of me I can't let go. Is there a chance that you would give me one more shot at being in your life? Is there a chance that you forgive my foolish faults and let past mistakes slide? Can't stand the hurt, I can't bear the pain. It's all I can do to keep from going insane. Oh, it gets me so hard to think of you with someone new. Now I'm left to face the truth, I'm still in love with you. Is there a chance that you would give me one more shot at being in your life? Is there a chance that you forgive my foolish faults and let past mistakes slide? And all I really wanna know is there a chance that you would give me one more shot at being in your life? Is there a chance that you forgive my foolish faults and let past mistakes slide?
It's awesome. It's so awesome. I love it. Did you hear that solo? That guitar solo? Rocks. That's an
Totally
Elliott solo.
rocks.
That's an Elliott
Yep.
solo as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks.
Right. So we go from Melt in 2014 to Exceed just 3 years ago now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about that one, Brett.
It started as kind of a side project for. There was a third record, believe it or not, that was going to start coming out, and we shelved it. Wasn't happy with what was going to go on, and I mean it's a family decision to do these kind of things. There is some money involved, and it came to my attention through someone on Facebook that I needed to know this person, and they needed to know me, and they orchestrated it. God love you. I know you're a relative of Mr. Egler's, and he orchestrated this thing. And we did run into each other, and we went, what like minds? So, cut to, my partner is originally from his hometown. We travel there anyhow. So I load up the guitar and whatever new songs I got, and a couple old ones that I didn't think I'd ever have a chance of getting done. They need a live band. Whew. We sat down and did 11 demos that day. And within probably 24 hours or so, I got the first one back. And it was the inklings of in the raw. And then the next day I got back, changed the thing, probably 100% completed. In my mind, it was. I have the demo with him on top of it and drums and going, wow, this thing is almost done. So he was messing around with in the raw, and he wasn't liking the way it was going. It was going to be more of a punk record, believe it or not. That's what I went to go do. And he said, no, I'm not really feeling this. And his kid hears him outside the door, and he goes, I like what you was doing earlier. And it was a country beat. Just the doom. Yeah. So he gets a little executive producer credit on that because he started him on this. Let's take him that way. Let's see what happens if we take these demos, erase this wall that he has of punk, and turn it into something different. And boy, once I started feeling that, I mean, Change a Thing was what it was. It Should Be a Crime was what it was. But there's a few songs in there, like Heartbeat, etc., at the beginning of these records that go to a different direction. And I thought, why not?
Nice.
If this man can do it. So, yeah, that's where it went.
It's just so important to be open to other people's opinions, isn't it? I mean, to not be so set on your own, your own vision for a song. It's so important to let other people speak into that.
I've already, done this and I've done that. I wanted to do a punk thing or two. But if you hear my records, they're not 100% linear. You can say this is, wow, that's a different sound. That's kind of Erasure. That's kind of Mode, or that's the Cars or the Talking Heads. And then with this, I had a chance with Call on Me. We dropped the music and said, so you said you like Lindsey Buckingham. I said, another amazing guitar player. Let's make this a Fleetwood Mac sound. So we just started with a bass drum and a 1 and a 2 and built from there. And that's the house Egler built. Call on Me was going to be something entirely different.
Oh,
and
wow.
we just built from there. And his mind, if you hear his work, or we've wrote a couple songs and he's got one on YouTube now, I could never imagine what he did with those lyrics, because I'm sure it was something else to begin with. He just isn't satisfied. It could be 3 chords, but he can take them in so many different directions. That's the feedback you get from a really good producer. A really bad producer won't listen to you and has an agenda. Jordan's not that guy. Jordan is the guy that will take you from 0 to 60 in a direction. If you're open and you're willing, he can give you what you want and build upon it. And that was amazing.
Wow.
And I think I said before to you that this album just really brings it all together. It's great. I have a question for you though.
Sure.
On this picture on the album, for you people can go check out Exceed. It's an awesome picture of you, and you're behind the.
Behind?
It's a picture of you behind.
With
Do not Google that.
on.
Yeah, but a picture of you behind the fretboard of your guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know if this picture says, come near me and I'm going to beat you with my guitar, or I'm really shy and I can only talk behind my guitar. No.
That's true. I do have a lot of anxiety without the guitar. I can stand outside and feel like the most awkward person in the world. You strap a guitar on me and 1,500 people in front of me, I know what to do. Saying hi to my neighbors, not so much. I'm that guy. I'm the wallflower. That's exactly what that record, that whole cover is that. For some reason, Dave, you're right on it. And the artwork behind it, again, Jordan Egler.
Yeah, it's an
hell
awesome
of an artist.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome picture.
It's pretty cool. And it was a couple selfies, and said, what about this one? Because we'd done some professional pictures and said, well, what about this? I said, I like the tunage. I don't look great. Airbrush me, do whatever you can. That was about the first thing he did. That was really awesome. And there's a back cover where he's got 3 pictures. And a friend of mine said, why does he have 3 pictures and you only have 1? I said, because he did 3 times the work than I ever could have done. I can't say enough. He was a really, to this day, inspiring, but he's got his own band. He's got his own career. He's got life as you know it, Dave. We've had that discussion, and it's just probably never going to happen for us again. I'd like it, but it's just too big a schedule. So,
wow.
The song that is my favorite on this album is "Call on Me," because it's my grandbaby song.
Yes.
There you go, Brett.
You go to Twitter, and there she is. You got to love. You want to?
Doesn't matter how you wrote it. It's about my.
It is
now, buddy.
There you go.
And I feel like it's
And-
about my kids. As
Yeah.
I've got
Cool.
kids, my son's getting married this spring, and my kids, they're all teenagers and stuff now, and it's just, yeah, it's about my kids for me.
Well, there you go. And that's what I want. I don't really want to tell the stories. You tell the stories to me. This song makes me it's an amazing thing.
Mm.
And when Dave had said that on the show, and Dave, I kind of ribbed you, I welled up too, going, this is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if anyone sees my big bloated face on a screen. I'd rather have, like the last two videos or whatever, cartoons can fill in the blanks for me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But what I do care about is those songs getting out. There's something so therapeutic for me that it will drive me batty if I can't sit down and work on music, if I can't sit down and play.
Mm.
And I love the wordplay. I'm glad, Donna, you picked up on a lot of that. But it's not so much about I want to put this out and be on Spotify. It's always been about I have a need to do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the first song that I heard from Exceed was Change a Thing. Because I
Love.
think it's YouTube, right?
Oh, yes, and Donna promoted the heck out of it.
Oh, I love that song. That's another dance while you make dinner song. I love that
Oh.
song.
That is Donna dancing in the video, isn't it, Brett?
Yes, it is, as a matter of
It
fact.
may or may not be Donna.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
We'll
Good.
we'll let viewers decide that for themselves.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
Check
yeah.
it out. Check it out. She got me up to like 4,500 video plays on that somehow. It was a tube,
Wow.
and you started circulating that sucker. And the nicest thing is that, and sometimes you know how emails get buried in the back of YouTube or whatever that you maybe, there's a hidden. Someone posted on there, I seen you on Donna's page, and then someone put, I heard you on Night Thoughts on episode 21, and
Nice.
And so I really started just writing everyone back, which we know is sometimes a good thing or bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I'm so glad that was helpful for you.
it really helped, and I think it just being lumped in with everyone, like, hey, here's some more potatoes. And thanks, Smashing Pumpkins, you ruined my night.
Yeah, that's
Me
right.
and Donna, do you remember this poor heart attack that we both were having? I said,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
listening to the show, and I didn't know I was in it. And then I went back, and I told someone, I said, I couldn't get over it. I was so honored. Goosebumps, and then it became a nightmare. Donna said, it may or may not have been one of your songs. I'm going, oh, Lord. Take it on the phone. And I'm trying to get that, really, you don't have to do that. And I'm going, well, why not? Well, it was the Smashing Pumpkins, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, there went 48 hours of nerves.
I know. Sorry, buddy.
No, but you know what? I swore then I owed her and you just like a debt. I mean, that was just... Oh, talk about being scared to death now, Donna. Heart in your mouth. That was I really could have been in tears just thinking, I ruined a show that I absolutely adore.
Oh, no.
With my music. Of all.
No, it wasn't you.
Yeah.
That
so
Billy
was scary.
Corgan.
Yeah, like they don't need a play or two. What's he doing?
Yeah, no kidding.
And to be in there with was Kirk on that show? Or did you introduce me to Kirk Johnson?
No, I think I introduced. Yeah, I think I sent you some links and I mailed you. I know what it was. When I mailed you some stuff, I put in one of his signed
CD?
CDs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think before then you had mentioned him, and I sought him out. And earlier you said something about influences. He listens to the CD, which blows my mind. Talk about a talented man in his own right. Never would have guessed in his interview. He said he'd never sang before, doing full circle. And I wrote him and said, I am just at a loss for words. And I think we started connecting. But the other day, and I didn't get permission from him. I tried to, but he's very busy. I want to say, I want to say this on the show. He said, I hear so much Billy Idol in Lust Again. I don't know if you get that. I go, you're the first person to nail that. I said, I was probably on a Billy Idol binge with some Joan Jett.
Nice.
That was a big influence on that stuff, too. So, but
Wow.
that show, to be lumped in with so many people, be gracefully placed in with some major acts, like the Killers and Rentals, which, of course,
Hey, if your friend of
I'm
Pete.
breathless. Yeah. Paulina.
You're down with Pete.
I gotta agree with you too, Donna. You cannot be that beautiful and that smart and not just, guys coming up to her like at a drunken after party on Twitter go, "Hey, how you doing, sweet cheeks?" And she nails them.
Oh, yeah. To the wall.
Smart as a whip.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough.
Don't mess with P.
That's right. That's what the lyrics should say.
Don't mess with.
Don't mess with P.
Don't mess with P.
Well, should we play a cut from Exceed?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many
You
great
pick.
songs on there.
I actually had a different cut planned to play. I was wanted to play It Should Be a Crime, but then Donna said, no, we should play Call on Me, which I am
Yes.
all for.
Are you sure? I didn't mean to
No.
beat
No,
you down.
because I think it's only fitting, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
It
it.
means so much to him. Please play Call on Me for me.
Will
Yeah.
do. Here it goes.
Let's do it, Donna.
Okay.
Between a rock and hard place and sliding through the cracks. Sometimes you need to vent about your world sliding off track. No matter rhyme or reason or time of night or day. Should you need help riding out those clouds of disarray, call on me. Call on me then. You can call on me when days are less than perfect, not quite the dream come true. Well, that's the time you need someone to reach out and rescue you. So if you ever get down, reach out, don't hesitate. Whenever you need someone to chase clouds of blue away, call on me. When you need someone, call on me. You can call on me 'cause I'm always here, always happy to lend a hand to pull you through. When you need a friend, say the word and then I'll be there for you. Call on me. You can call on me. Call. When you need a friend, I'll be there. Call on me. You can call on me. When you need someone, I'll be there. Oh, when you need someone, call. You can call on me.
All right, so that was Call on Me from Brett's Exceed album from 2016, and I didn't cry. Want everyone to know that. I didn't.
I
I,
went-
I,
I
I
went
did a
up
little.
I went up the street and gave him some Kleenex and come back to
You
my
Yeah.
did.
I had to
Uh,
edit out all your sobbing.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I got friends that people cry when they hear their music, but it's not in this most honorable way. So thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I said I wasn't gonna, but yeah, what the hell?
In your solo career with these 3 albums, have you done live shows?
Yes.
Or has it just been the CDs? Okay, because
No,
I could have sworn that you did like a Pride Fest. Did you do Pride
Yes, I
Fest
did.
in town?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I don't even know where I got that or where that came up, but yeah.
Yeah, there's pictures out there somewhere. They're not authentic. That's why they're not on their site. But nonetheless,
So Brett, what's next for you? Got a new album coming out? What's your future plans? I sound like I'm interviewing like my daughter's date. Who do you see yourself
What
in
are your
5 years, bud?
intentions?
I was just going to say that.
What are your intentions with my daughter?
Nothing. I can guarantee it's strictly platonic, right? I guarantee you now. If you don't believe me, seriously, dude, what planet did you drop from? I am very happily to tell you. Let's move forward. Okay, so by the time this show was supposed to happen, we were supposed to have a couple new songs. And I'm not afraid to talk about that part. It was a failed experiment. Horrible, not my fault. No. So we were supposed to have new music by this day.
Oh, okay.
So I've started producing again on my own. I now have 3 albums worth of material.
Wow.
Wow.
4. And the reason that happened is we started going through these boxes. I'm in one area of the state, and Marty's in another, and I keep getting these boxes. What is this? They're tapes. They're tapes from 2013 or whatever, and they're tapes. And I go, oh, there's a lost song. There's a lost song. And there's a rhyme and a reason, not only to my wording, but my numbering and my lettering. And so the next one's going to be called Lost, and the one after is going to be called Found, and they're supposed to be about 6 months apart. I'm not going to be Rick and say it's going to be out this summer.
I'm not even going to say, holy shit, Donna, Brett has a vault.
I have a vault of 575 songs.
Wow.
Some of which you have in your hands. Some of which have become bums and no longer in service. You know those ABC songs, Dave, that you start when you start writing, you know? I don't keep those. They actually evolved into someone else's music accidentally. I was like, I don't really like this in the baggie. Let's throw that to you. There you go. And that works for some people, but I have an and I don't stop writing. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And if something doesn't work, I may come back and pull something out and go, all right, I'm taking that bridge and putting it over here, put that piece. Oh, that's done. That's done. There's a whole song now. So then I'm at 522 songs or something. But I don't think I'll ever get my vaults out there. No more than probably Rick. Anyone that consistently writes and says, I may write a song about this tonight. You know? There's something here. There's something about I was talking with Slow-Mo Donna. Slow-Mo Donna could be a big hit.
Yeah. Good. Hey, and remember, you owe me an album of house cleaning songs.
Yes, I do. Oh,
featuring the hit single, That Floor Ain't Gonna Mop Itself, guy.
That floor ain't gonna mop itself.
Yeah.
If it would, what a miracle would it be. Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
I shit you not. On Monday, I cleaned house because I had the day off, and I got through all 3 albums. Still wasn't done. I was so pissed off that I didn't get it done within 3 albums. Holy crap, am I slow.
So I got to come out with an EP called... This floor ain't gonna... What was the other one you said? This oven ain't gonna clean itself. That's where I started thinking it should be a crime. And you had this long list.
Yeah.
And somebody else chimed in on it going, you can do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing a musical here.
Yeah.
I'm doing a musical. But I pictured Dave dancing around kind of like, Mrs. Doubtfire would meet Hazel. Oh, Mr. B.B., thank you for the dancing here.
I'll tell you what.
Listen, you get 10 dirty little feet on it. I'm going to dance to this song. Oh, have you heard this one? It's called The Meaning.
Donna and I are who you need for your videos. Donna stirring the potatoes, me mopping the floor.
I will put anyone in a video, and I sent that out, and I couldn't get one person to do a video for me. Donna, your kids were dancing, doing Shake It Up.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, where do I get midgets that can do this? You know, they love the cars, and one of your kids is very, very talented. I seen the Lego videos, and I thought, why can't I have midgets that can work like that? No, seriously, they are very talented kids.
Well, thank you. I'm quite proud of them.
So, yeah. See, that's how it works, Dave. You gotta, Dave, you know, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, her kids are talented. So.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Not that yours aren't, I think.
So you've got, in your plans, you've got Lost
and Found. Yes, which is funny because if you put the lettering down with these records, you're going to find if I get to 6, you're going to start seeing something there.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, okay. Well, I was kind of thinking maybe a better name would be, your next one would be Steel Wool, and then the next one, Rainbows.
Rainbows.
Which is funny. I actually had a song out called Rainbows.
No Steel Wool, huh?
Yeah,
No.
nope. I'll send Donna the song. I forgot all about that. Huh.
Yeah, wow.
That'll
Rainbows.
be my new anthem.
Awesome.
Yeah. Once it's been done by another band, I usually don't tamper with it. So there you go.
So let me ask you this, Brett. We
Yes.
talked about the bullshit, which is iTunes, of pennies on a song or whatever. We want people to pick your albums up, not just go to YouTube and listen, not just go to SoundCloud and listen, whatever. Where can people purchase your work?
The best
What do you think
place
is the
to
best
go,
place?
CD Baby, because
CD
at
Baby.
least the artist gets half the money.
Yeah.
Kid you not. But
Because they can get debut on CD, and then they can get Melt and Exceed as a digital download off of
and
CD.
they should not be expensive. They should not
Yeah.
be $10-11, and that's the thing that really irks me, because it carries over to Amazon sometimes. And I've really at one point was in control of my Amazon and took it off there. I actually was in control of my YouTube at one time and took Melt and Debut off there because they weren't being fair about it. So now in order to put them on there, like, you could dial up Exceed on YouTube, and if you play it a couple times, I get a few pennies. It's amazing,
Really?
each song. Like Kirk was talking about Spotify, that happens
Yeah.
with YouTube when you get so many people. The thing is you got to sit there and play it all day. But now they won't allow Debut and Melt to be back on there unless I pay for it. So I think the fairest place you can go and you can actually listen and enjoy, as well as Spotify. Spotify always pays, and believe it or not. And then number 2, if you want to buy, go to CD Baby.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
And we will put links in our show notes for people to click on that if they're on iTunes or in YouTube, or even on our Night Thoughts page. We'll put links in there for you, so you can get your due. But our big interest is just that Donna and I we're big fans, and and since you're a super fan of the podcast, by golly, we wanna promote.
Heck yeah.
I think that I sure appreciate it. Super fandom, full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. There's something that's very interesting. I do support a lot of independent musicians. If you see my Twitter, it's more about not just me, but it's about everyone. I believe that if you're really about music and you're really about promoting people, that's great. A friend of ours, at least in the circle of independent musicians that support each other, I'm never sure how to say this, but it's Jaykle. He actually is rap, Australian, I do believe. He's going to be coming out with another video. They're so interesting, just the videos alone. He's not off. Your kids could listen to it. It's storytelling. It's Tom D. Hall meets rap. It's really cool. It's but he's going to put the Exceed cover in one of his videos. It's going to be on the background, and he has these digital characters that basically do his videos. He's a heck of a singer. He also raps. He's just amazing. But that's something that's coming up I kind of forgot about.
That's
Wow, that's
exciting.
cool.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like a sighting in there. That's just really just kind of sweet, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then Jordan's actually going to be putting out a song. He's already got one out called Something Fake that we worked on. I just wrote lyrics on it. That's all. That's it. He did the song. And then the next one, me and my partner actually wrote some lyrics on it, and Jordan as well. And it should be coming to YouTube sometime soon. So I'm always working with other people when I'm not doing my stuff. So.
And that's Jordan Egler, right? Egler.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, if people want to look him up.
If you put in my name and his, a couple bodies of work will pop up, mine, his, and a lot of stuff that he's done. And he's well worth listening to.
Nice.
If you like Exceed, you'll love a genuine article. So there you go. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Check that out. Okay. Well, Donna, I believe we have an email from the Midnight Scroll.
We do?
We do.
Okay.
Can you roll that Midnight Scroll music?
I'm rolling it, man.
All right.
Take me apart 'cause I'm out of control. Send me a letter on the midnight scroll.
Okay, so what kind of a production would we be if we, having BB on our podcast, did not have
Oh.
an email from his good friend Rico?
Oh, man. Rico's a fan too, BB.
Rico's a fan.
Rico, was that picture is me and Rico sitting in the green room.
Yeah.
I'm doing his hair.
Yeah. And, and, we got Rico shirts. 2 Rico shirts have been purchased.
Yeah.
One by me, one by Brett.
Nice.
That's limited edition. So
That is the most limited of editions for sure.
here we go, Brett. I'm tearing my voice up for you, my man.
All right, there you go.
All right, here we go. Greetings to you, my podcast friends. Hey, it's me, your old pal Rico. So I have just one question for your guest this week, the BB. Or as we like to call him in the neighborhood, Bretonio Basilovici. Hey, Bretonio.
Yes.
Inquiring minds want to know, my friend. Why is your first album titled The Butt? Personally, I'm mad fucking confused, my friend. Doesn't that there give them record company morons the impression that you're just pulling those songs out of your ass? And think about the average customer looking for new music. Imagine this, if you will. You got some schmo scrolling through the iTunes or the Spotify or whatever the fuck, and they come across this album titled The Butt. Let me tell you this, my friend. In my neck of the forest, we just automatically think, The Butt? Holy fuck, that's got to sound like shit. What is this? One of them there conceptualizing albums about colonoscopies? I don't need to experience that, my friend. Although, it is important for those over 50, just saying.
Yes. Very true.
And I ain't no pronunciation Nazi, but the word is pronounced naked, not naked, my friend. We got naked. It's naked.
Naked.
We got naked.
From the neck
Naked as a
down.
fucking jaybird. As in when we was kids, we was all running around the open fire hydrant on 73rd. Then bada boom, bada bing, there stands Joey Calzone's little sister, naked as a fucking jaybird. Unbelievable. Your Fanorama fucking friend. P.S.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I'm on the Twitter socialized media now. Follow me. Hey, all right.
Gee. Oh, wow.
Rico's on. All right. Fantastic.
I am sweating from laughter. Thank you, Rico. I remember naked from the neck down.
He's naked.
Naked.
The butt.
Naked.
The butt. That's a first. Thank you. I have not actually heard that one. I've heard debit. Did you go into your debit card and maybe you could run it through the butt? Thank you. That's what I don't get. Dave tells me Rico has no fans. Please tell Rico he has more fans, people. Because without your support, Rico's going to go away. I have a funny feeling Dave's going to put him in a box like L. Ron Duché.
Yeah.
El Glenn.
Glenn, I keep getting it confused with some other L. Ron.
L. Ron Hubbard.
He's into the Scientology.
On his Zamboni.
All the wizards, yeah.
Oh, my
All right.
goodness.
He's into them zombies. He's got the Zamboni.
We got Rico and Nico.
Yeah. There you go. This is Nico. Rico's other twin. I was actually on his neck, And bada boom, bada bing. I just love it. I knew people like that. We all know somebody like that. And enunciation thingy, and you do that so well. It's like a modern day Bing Crosby, or was it Bing Cosby? Or remember the guy Norm Crosby. Enunciations.
Well, we got L. Ron Douche.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God, you may want to cut that. That's going to be the whole theme. It's going to be like the Dick Skinner show. Got it.
I'm not cutting shit, Brett. I got
my gosh.
No. He's so trying to get me to cuss, Donna.
Yeah, I know. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dookie.
Well, Brett, thank you so
I am
much
so
for being on
honored.
our podcast. We're
much.
honored to have you on our podcast. So
You made me feel like a real musician. Like I
Oh
have
my
done
gosh.
something to touch people, other than just setting it and just. You're gonna make me cry. Hey,
We appreciate you so much, and we love your music.
and the feeling is mutual. I really do. Just say, hey, you know what, guys? It popped up. My show's on. I gotta go. This is my one thing, and I know other podcasts have tried to tempt me away. I'll listen, but it's not cheating if you're on it.
there you go, man.
But yeah, I really am a fan, and the thing that I think comes across to you see your numbers building. This show that I'm on, I'm promoting the hell out of it on everything I got. I hope you get more fans, because if you've had a moment with this band, or just enjoy the music, it's like two people sitting around, and now you're four or whatever that's listening, and there's a conversation. And I think Turbocharge is going to do it too. I haven't got to see it. It sounds like it's a fan moment where you're looking across the room and you're looking. You get it. I get it. We get it. We grew up with this, or I understand the music, and that's what's so important about this. We connect. I know I'm going long. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. It is. It's all about connections.
It really is like listening to a couple friends sitting around going, did you hear that little nuance in there? And there's that country moment with this song, and everything that has been said throughout the 47 episodes so far, I've agreed with, except this one. I really don't know what to make of it. This is one for the record books.
All right. Well, we're going to leave this podcast with a song that will make me break out my rhythm broom guitar when I'm listening to it as a clean. Wantcha from Melt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Donna, take us out.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
Keep your heart chained under lock and key. Protect yourself from everyone, but you can't keep yourself from the cold reality. The time is finally come. Here and now, take away the chains and let your heart find again. I want you in my life. It's up to you to make it happen. I need you in my life. With just one chance is all I'm asking. I want you in my life. It's up to you to make it happen. I need you in my life. With just one chance, it's all I'm asking now. Try and remember just how good everything was in your life before this pain. And if you just stop your running, maybe I can show you the way and make you feel that way again. Here and now, the choice is up to you, and only you can make it all come true. I want you in my life. It's up to you to make it happen. I need you in my life. But just one chance, it's all I'm asking.
Thank you for listening to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. Wherever you found us, iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. Send us an email for the Midnight Scroll at nightthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. As always, Night Thoughts reserves the right to edit or not read an email on the air. You can follow us on Twitter at The Cars Podcast. Grab yourself a podcast t-shirt at tpublic.com/user/nightthoughts. All the cool kids are wearing them. Oh, and finally, search for The Cars Night Thoughts on Facebook and join our group page. P.S. I am totally Team Rick.